Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NA Tournament of Legends Qualifier number 1. I am Will Sire Fabreu, and I am in the esports basement that belongs to one Mr. John Blue Mullen. Guys, it's time.
Are we pumped?
I'm so pumped. I'm incredibly hyped. Guys, for those of you who don't know, we have sort of broken up the Tournament of Legends into 4 different 32-man brackets. This is the first one for North America. If you watched yesterday, you saw EU. Mr. Jebro was casting that. And for today, we're going to see the very first 32-man bracket. And we have started the games already, just so we can get through them and sort of bring you just some nice bi-weekly content, I guess. But we've had some crazy games already, Blue. We just watched Elusive, or who was it?
It was Jubinder versus a new team, Resistance is Futile, and we almost saw the new team come out on top there. It was very close. I kind of wish we actually would have been able to cast that one, but it wasn't a round of 16 there. But still, very close. Jubinder, thankfully, though, did pull it back towards the end of the game, but that was still, that was a close one. We almost saw a really early upset there.
Absolutely. Now, it would have been amazing to see Resistance this Futile push forward into the tournament, but we are going to see right now Team Elusive versus Chunni Pride Eclipse. These teams are all ready to go on Forest, so let's just go in.
Alright, let's get it started. We're going to give those guys the signal now to ready up. We'll check out a couple of builds here before we do begin, but let us get started first with the game. And we're just waiting for, I believe, 2 of them to ready up. So just a couple interesting things to point out over here. We are going to be seeing the composition on the red side. They are opting to take a Thief over a more tanky composition that we do usually see. So Aerox over here is going to be taking the Thief role. Going to be playing Dagger Pistol, so a lot more direct damage will come out into play in contrast to the usual Sword Dagger that we do end up seeing there. So a lot of direct spike damage, but he's going to be a little bit more squishier. Won't have as many jumps to get in and out of fights there, but overall, once again, like I was saying, we'll add a lot more damage to the team fight here. And another interesting choice that we are seeing made here by both of our squads is to take a Necromancer. Now again, Necromancers, we don't see them too often, so it is a bit of a risky choice, because again, it isn't necessarily like the most mainstay thing in the meta, but when they do bring them, it does bring quite a lot of conditions and quite a lot of chaos to team fights there, so we'll have to see how it plays out on both sides of these teams here.
That's right, and of course, it's worth noting, for those of you guys new to Guild Wars 2, the Thief will allow for some stealth play, which is really critical on this map in the very beginning splits. That Shadow Refuge, as you can see on his utility skills, will allow his teammates to stealth up in the beginning and really spread out, assuming he decides to stack up with that, of course. And there's not really anything that allows for that on the other team side, for that initial split. So we may see something kind of traditional from that blue side as we go in, but the match is about to start, Blue. Let's pop open that map and check out the splits as we go forward.
Alright guys, so once again it is round 1, our opening game for today here in the Qualifier 1 of the North American Tournament of Legends 2. So here we go, it's Elusive versus Chunni Pride Eclipse. We are on the Forest of Niflhel, so let us get started, guys.
And you know, I was kind of calling it there, Blue. We are seeing a lot of beach play here as we kind of turn up the volume and go into this game here, but the stealth did not go through here. Red and blue are meeting for a big bloodbath here at the beach. We are watching Ender now popping out with a toolkit, trying to get the grenades down as well from trying to really support his teammates here. He's got his shield up. He's taking tons of damage here. I think he's running the pirate runes, if I'm not mistaken, so the parrot is out. Of course, that is probably the flavor of the month with the runes right now, but he's being chased by what looks to be Snowless from the other side here, Blue. Elsewhere on the map, we are seeing one cap piece and a 1v1 for the middle fight here. So the main action is in that choke point right on bottom mid. But this has allowed sort of the rest of their team to figure out where they want to go with this. And I don't think that, I think that Red Team has a point advantage just from getting on the point first, but I do think that they have a better map spread as well.
The interesting thing for Red Team here, specifically on Ender's point of view, is Ender actually had to use quite a few big cooldowns here in order to save his own life. He got very heavily focused there, especially by the blue team's worry. They got hit by a big Eviscerate cooldown there too, and in order to escape and get away from that, had to pop up his supply crate, which is usually a pretty big team fight utility. So again, that's going to be on cooldown for the next 2 minutes now, and as you can see over here, not having the crate is actually hurting him pretty hard here in this 1v1 versus Snowless as well. And as you can see, these Condis might actually knock him out if he doesn't manage to cleanse him soon.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like... Oh, okay, so
good save from the teammates, though, with the SR here.
Very good call. Able to get in there, but the well got dropped on the SR. Feared away into this corner now, Blue. He's going to try and rejoin there, drop the healing turret, pops it up, props it back in. That's good enough. Now he's got 2 team members here to deal with. but on the rest of the map, they're really thinly spread. They're going to lose their home node. They're going to lose mid. They just captured mid, rather. So now we're going to see, sort of, as we go into this, how will Red react to this. They are up about 20 points, but that lead can very easily decrease.
No, Red Team has a very interesting strategy here. They're very aggressive in their play, so I don't think they're going to care too much about the fact that they just lost their home node. Because you can see here, they've got like 4, maybe even, they've got about 3 or 4 of their guys over here at the far node, and so far, they've got a pretty dominant stance in this team fight, so I don't think they're going to be too worried about mine. They're just going to leave it for now. If they see an opening a little bit later on, they may send Aerox over there to grab it back very quickly, but for the time being, they'll probably stay committed over here to this Henge fight.
Something that I noticed over here on Henge is that a target is called and everyone jumps in on it.
Yeah.
And that coordination is really, really key. As Focus Fire that has come down here was really key to them getting all these kills, but unfortunately for them, they couldn't get the decap off. We see the Guardian now from the blue side here, invisible, coming in here and able to just do work, able to stay on the point and keep it capped up for blue here. Ender is, of course, he was dazed. Now he's going to pop out, I think that's the Elixir gun if I'm not mistaken, and he's trying to do work on that point. Checking out the other points though, we're seeing there is a 1v1 on middle, and Aerox is putting some aggression in over on the mine. Let's check that out, Blue.
Checking out Aerox here once again, going for some DPS on the Snowless. Does have to be a little bit careful versus Snowless due to the Synchronous Spike here. In all honesty, again, Synchronous Spike's kind of a one-hit win button versus tanky targets. You can see it did connect onto him. Aerox needs to have Condi cleanses available here now, but thankfully he had gotten Snowless down there low enough, so he is going to be able to knock him out. And even so, even if he had taken too much damage from the Condis here, he did have his teammate Karina over there towards the side if he had gotten too low, so Karina would have been able to save his life anyway. So with that said, Red Team will now get back control of the mine, and Red Team actually shifted up their game pretty heavily. We were seeing them pretty fully committed to Henge just a few seconds ago, but now they've really just shifted that all the way over here to the keep now, and they're going to go for a big fight here.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, did that Henge play really pay off for each team?
They were doing very good there at Henge, from what I noticed. It was very good focus coming in from Ender, Aerox, as well as Karina, but with Aerox, I think, going down and having to focus on another node, it did reduce their damage by quite a bit. The other thing, too, is the blue team was kind of just lemmingsing themselves onto the point where they were just, one guy was dying, but then another guy would take his spot, and even though they were getting kills, they were, you know, taking the advantage, they were never actually able to get a decap there, so they just decided, this isn't worth fighting, let's just get a quick transfer to mid while they have 2 or 3 guys down and try to take control of that fight quickly.
That's right. Now, we did see during this fight, Karina popped over to Henge and decapped it, tried to get a new, actually fully capped up for her side, but over there we are seeing now, Snowless is capped up off the respawn. This is going to leave this middle fight in a 4v4 with Ender coming, or maybe it's Rocketry, I think.
Ender, as both Bunker Guardians are currently in the downstate here, this is actually going to be a pretty high intense moment. Both teams are going to try to get him up, but Ender does get up there with Invisible getting stomped out. So once again, the elimination of a Bunker Guardian from the blue team side is going to be a pretty big snowball here now in this mid fight.
Yeah, that's right. Just the lack of staying power, the lack of heal, and the lack of Condi cleanse in addition to that is going to do such work on them, of course. We are seeing that, oh no, Marvin gets knocked into that corner. Here comes a stop from the opposing
Elementalist there.
Yeah, and unable to be saved. Ender is now really kind of forced to either put some time in here and try and keep these guys here while his teammates can coordinate around them, or just run away. I think he was kind of trying to figure out what exactly was the best course of action here, and unfortunately, actually here comes Aerox. Can Aerox save Ender though?
It's going to be a bit tough. Thankfully, we do actually have Rocketry coming in on the side here too, so Rocketry is going to be able to get him up. They had a lot of guys coming out from spawn there. Red Team had just wiped up a couple of their members, so having them come in here to help out now is going to be pretty helpful. They got Ender back up, and now I don't think they're going to push for mid just yet. Blue Team does still have a pretty big brigade of players sitting over here by mid, but look at that. They had 3 of their guys head over here to the Henge, and now they got control of that. So I think for the time being, once more, we're going to see Elusive kind of switch to a side point game.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be really key for them to maintain this lead. Look at the point spread right now. They're up like 30. It's 227 to 194. Now, look at what Aerox just did. Stealthed up Karina as well to just allow her to get some free reign while she moves around and maneuvers for this next team fight. She may actually be going over towards Chief, and they may want to really like make it harder for their opposing team to see this. And I think that's exactly what happened.
And yeah, they should be able to take Chieftain down. They've got Karina over here. Now, Karina, again, probably was a bit of an odd choice considering she's Kanye to go over there towards that. But again, good excellent turnaround here. She's going to jump directly onto this. She's going to go directly over here on the Sunshine from the blue team and try to knock him out as Aerox just finishes off the DPS. Aerox, again, having that direct damage, a much better choice to leave there and take down the boss, as he'll be able to do it much, much faster than any Condi class.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what he did. But both Necros are over here on this point. They both fear each other into the opposing corners. It's kind of hilarious.
Nightmare runes.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Sometimes you just can match up against yourself. And at this point, though, Red Team is having a much easier time with this game here on Forest. They have the ability. They have their home point down. Karina, it may actually end up going down there. She's about 500 health. She may one more hit.
Eviscerate could come out here from Sunshine at any time to take him down. She's got Plague for that. Plague is way too late. That was a wasted cooldown in all honesty. That's not going to do much. Yeah, she's going to go directly down once again over here. We've got Sunshine coming in. Sunshine's actually pretty low too. So again, if we could see enough focus coming off onto him to take him down, there is a chance as well that we could see. And they're going to turn this around. Look, Karina's right back. A good burst from Aerox too on a Sunshine there. Knocks him directly out. We've even got Snowless down. So they're going to turn a bad scenario with one of their players down into a good scenario, completely killing 2 of the enemy players. And look at this now. The blue team has 4 players down and off the field here. So red team's going to have pretty much free movement to wherever they want to go.
Yeah, and looking at just where Karina is right now, she's got total vision of what blue is going to do off the docket here. And Marvin will see the beach as well. It looks like the blue team's going to opt to go for this beach play here, trying to push out through the lesser used areas, trying to push some aggression over to mine here. But Ander is going to see this. Also, we will see that Swanner is going to be capped up by rocketry. If Sunshine can actually steal this, it might be a big thing for our team. But no, it's actually 410 to 263. Yeah. Still too little, too late, blue. So I think that this he gets knocked to the downstate by Swanner, will get stomped out, and then it will be taken by the red team. So it's just rubbing that salt in that wound there, man.
Yeah, blue team actually was doing surprisingly well considering kind of the seeds that we're taking a look at here so far in this tournament. Elusive was #1 seed coming into this event, so for the start of that game, they were doing a very, very good job there of kind of just in general keeping themselves alive in the team fight. It just, as we got towards the middle of the game there, they really got locked down very quickly. They got pushed against themselves with 2 side nodes, and unfortunately they got pushed into a lot of smaller engagements that they could have won, and they just eventually just completely lost all mobility, and it seems at this point that they're just going to be completely unable to come back from that.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree here. When you're down 287 to 469, there's not many things you can do to come back, and of course, this is not faux fire. So yeah, I mean, without that, there's no Lord, there's no last ditch effort. All of the forest creatures are dead, and this is just sort of watching the clock tick down now as Chunni Pride Eclipse will be dropping out. An Elusive, right? Actually, no, it's a best of 3 sets now, remember?
Yeah, that was a free. You were watching the previous 2 rounds, you're like, oh, it's all best of 1s. No, it's best of 3 now.
So, I mean, given this, what's our next map?
Next map is going to be Legacy. So for this round, we are in the standard map rotation. We're starting off on this map, obviously, and then we'll go over to Legacy, and then if a 3rd game is needed, we'll move it over to Kylo.
Right. Okay. So, given that, seeing what blue team was actually good at doing, able to sort of rotate, able to really like have that mobility and be where they need to be, and just keep a good map sense.
Yeah,
really. They knew their numbers. They were calling out their numbers. You could tell they were able to split. Unfortunately for them, it was just red team was able to put down them in numbers.
Yeah.
Do you see that changing coming forward into Faux Fire?
I mean, Faux Fire is going to come down to a lot of things in this matchup. Like I said, blue team was doing very well, especially in the fights. Rotations were not that good. That was part of the reason that they kind of got locked down there towards the end. Is there just was some stuff lacking there, so they weren't really able to kind of overcome that towards the end of the game. But I think that again, if they're able to take this initial middle fight here, if they're able to overcome that, they've got to watch out for a couple things like Aerox. He's going to be very dangerous in the middle fights. With him being on DP, there's going to be a lot of big ganks, big damage spikes that'll come out from him. They got to watch out for things like that. But if they can overcome that, if they can kind of take control, not even really cap, if they can kind of take control of the initial middle fight, they can be wherever they need to be on the map, because holding middle is such a good advantage for your team to have, and it's really just comes down to that. They have to avoid getting locked down to those 2 points like we saw in the last game, because that was really what killed them there in round 1.
And also, what we noticed before we go back into this is Korea was really able to shut down the Eclipse Necromancer, especially with the amount of fears going off and just sort of playing around that. They're mirror builds, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Let's actually go in game and double check that real quick. So we're going to check out Karina first. The blue team Necromancer has not joined yet, but I think they're both running with POC builds. Yeah, Prophet Corruption over here on Karina, and then blue team's Necro was still winning on the join. But again, this build is kind of like what I've seen most North American Necromancers run. North American meta in general tends to be a lot more tanky than European meta, so we might see a few more Doomfire Necros over in EU. I think we see a little bit more of a POC over here in NA. So again, this is the pretty standard build. 64040 is actually quite bulky, but like you were saying, if we assume that the blue team Necromancer is running with the same exact build, it kind of really just comes down to whoever gets the better Condi spike off first is really like 90% of that matchup there.
Yeah. And so let's go forward. Let's see exactly what we can go. We're just waiting on the blue team. Let's go over some builds here.
Alright, so first off, taking a look once more at Ender over here, is playing a pretty standard North American engineer build here. Celestial Amulet along with Rifle. We see a lot of guys like Ender running this, like Hiba runs this build as well. Runes his strength out for him to boost up the potency of it in team fights. There's going to be giving might to himself while he's in team fights. Runs with 60062, somewhat of a defensive trait split, but it has kind of become the standard for most engineers, taking protection injection as well as backpack regenerator for the extra points here in Alchemy. Aerox on Thief once again, DP 26006, fairly standard trait split for that. Berserker's Amulet. Runes of the Scholar are actually an interesting choice. We've seen a lot of thieves like Cade recently kind of opting for the AI runes to assist them in the downstate and just in general there to kind of keep pressure on targets when they need to pull back, but Scholar runes is going to allow him to do a lot to burst, especially on the opening engagement, which is what he's going to specialize in DP here, by giving him that extra 10% damage when kind of he's engaging. And other than that, it's fairly standard for a DP thief. Karina once again on the Necromancer build. We kind of already talked about this, we can go over that. And then we have Marvin on the character When Our Lips Touch, playing with an altruistic healing guardian build, 01661 AH. Tends to be a little more selfish than, say, like a Virtues build can be or something like that, but overall, it does help to keep him alive in team fights, which obviously, again, he's a very crucial part of staying alive in the team fights, keeping his team alive there too, so it's very crucial that he does stay alive. And other than that, once again, Cleric's Amulet, runes the soldier to boost the potency of the 3 shouts, and then Mace, Offhand Focus, and a Staff. And then last but not least, they do have Rocketry over here. We do have him running with, I think, the same exact build as Ender, so, well, a little bit different. He does have extra 2 points over here in the tools compared to the extra 2 points in Elusive, so there's that too.
Alright, man. Well, we're still waiting on one last guy here from Eclipse before we jump in, and that is going to be, Thief? No, didn't have a Thief. It was, wow, man. Totally blanking here, but
I think it was 2 LEs. Oh my god, it's Warrior. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, it was their Warrior, their Evis Warrior. He may be going off to like Handbow or something else.
So let's compare Karina to Snowless right now.
So their builds are pretty similar. They're both running POC. The only real differences that come into play is that I believe we see Snowless over here running with an extra 2 points in his Soul Reaping in order to get access to Soul Marks as well as Master of Terror, and then you see Karina again opting for the points in a Death Magic instead, where he gets a little bit of a defensive bonus over here. He gets some he gets an extra recharge on his staff skills, and he also gets Reaper's Protection, which helps out very good against Thieves and other high spike builds, which, again, in this matchup now that they've actually switched out to a Thief, is going to be very, very good.
How do you think this is going to match up? So their Warrior is now gone. They have the Thief, but they also have these 2 Elementalists.
And the 2 Ellies, actually, with this combination, should work very, very well in large-scale team fights, which is like, you know, pretty big portion of this map. So DD Ellies, again, in addition to dealing a fairly decent amount of damage themselves, also through water attunement and stuff like that, like things like Cleansing Wave, are going to be able to provide a very decent amount of healing as well as cleansing to their allies. So it's actually a very big bonus to have 2 of those in play, because again, if Kill overcommits over here, if he dives too deep and takes a lot of damage, if he's able to escape out of there, they're going to be able to heal him up very quickly and throw him right back into the fray.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is going to be sort of, well, this is obviously the deciding match for Eclipse. Can they be on the board? We got to figure that out here as the match is about to start, and we're going to have Blue update that scoreboard for you there. Right now, though, my money is on Elusive. #1 seed going through this. I want to be surprised by Chunni playing Eclipse here going forward. We're going to check out the splits. Let's pop open the map and see what exactly is going on. Looks like we're going to see Aerox going over towards the quarry. Ender trying to figure out where he's going, but we're seeing a total aggressive move here from the blue side. Now, let's see where some SRs might be going out here.
Aerox, if he's smart here, might hang back. He's going to go around to the point. So again, blue team's kind of going to know there's 2 players here. Are they still going to commit to it, though, is the question. It does look like they are there, but Aerox is leaving. Oh no, nice burst there by Kill into Aerox. Instantly going to make Aerox press the panic button. Moves away, pops his HIS. Kill does have to be careful, though, thankfully, with him running Pistol Whip. He is going to have a lot more jumps in and out of the fight due to him running Sword instead of Dagger as his main hand weapon.
Yeah, and you know, he did get basket for a second, and there it is. There's Rocketry and Aerox teaming up for that drop there. But there is Invisible, the Guardian from that team, trying to get their buddy up, and Kill trying to get over to that glory point, trying to join his teammates, but it's just not enough. We're seeing now the build that Invisible is running, 00662, very tanky build here.
You notice there too was actually a pretty big deal, is that Invisible wasted a 60-second ICD for Shield of Absorption, or Resolute Healer rather, so now he did use the knockback there, so that's, again, if his teammates do go down, which is looking very likely here, he's not going to have that available to get anyone else on his team up over here.
It's really hard to deal with that, with the internal cooldowns that you are you are wasting if you don't get that person right up there. Like, you have to, when you are using Resolute Healer, you gotta get that person right back up. And there is a Lofty Dwarf going straight down, able to, no, he's Vapor Form, so he's gonna go straight back down there. And so Invisible is gonna have a lot of trouble trying to really stay on this point. In fact, he will not stay on this point.
Yeah.
So all of this blue team aggression over at Quarry has been for pretty much nothing. In the meantime, they've allowed their home point to be capped, and they're losing the middle fight as well.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good for Chunni Pride Eclipse coming out of the gate here.
Overall here, going for far point in general is always a very risky thing to do, especially sending Squisher guys over there. And when they decided to move their full Bunker Guardian over to that node, you could tell that immediately they were going to commit to that. Unfortunately, however, Red Team seemed to have just a little bit too much control over that point. The two energies, like you saw there, as they were taking down Invisible, were just able to control them far too well and make very quick work of them. So now we are going to see, here in round 2, we're going to see Elusive take a very quick advantage. Now, unfortunately, because we are on Legacy as well, Blue Team is not going to get many chances to kind of get themselves back into the game. So if they want to recover now from this 2-cap, possible 3-cap that they're going to be up against, they need to do this very, very quickly and very, very efficiently as well. Otherwise, game's going to be over before we know it.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they're put in a situation where they have to decide what their course of action is, and they just have to be right about it. And we're watching right now Snowless being captured over here by the turrets, then a Rocketry dropping some grenades around him. Snowless now out of death, out of the Death Shroud form. He will be going down. Oh my god, pops right back. 200 health.
Oh no, he's got
health.
DS. Hold on, he's got DS, but 41. Nope, he didn't. Only 41 health outside, unfortunately, with the poison duration rolling there. It was going to be a little bit too much damage regardless to kill him. So, due to him not having any other Connie clones besides his own heal there, he is going to be thrown to the downstate. And as you can see, there's just a whole field of red team guys around him, so they're going to have no trouble knocking him out. He's far too away from anyone on the blue team from getting him up.
Okay, so this game, I've got a question for you, Blue.
Alright.
Can Chunni Pride Eclipse reach 100 points?
In all honesty, I'm not even sure if they're going to get 100 points, because, alright, so they chose, so here was the issue I saw immediately here with their kind of second strategy after their opener failed. They tried to go for mid, and when they're up against 2-cap, mid's not a good option, and outright, it's just, you should not be going there, because again, it's a trap, because it's such a big point. Even if they do win the initial engagement, Elusive can easily just keep one guy on it and kite around the outskirts of the point because it's so big. So they should have tried to maybe split push, maybe try to just go all in on their home node or something to get that back, but going for mid was not the best option in my opinion, because it is going to, just again, give Elusive so much more of a lead here now because of the extended fight that's going to happen here regardless.
Yeah, I totally agree. In this situation, I think the safest move is to just everyone go home, get a footing, take that time to reset yourself, and then figure out where to push from there.
There is a bit of a crux to that, however, if they all go home, is the fact that, again, they are going to very much push themselves into a corner that Elusive, if they know what they're doing, can abuse very, very easily. They can all just go there, send 3, maybe 4 guys over there, and just keep them all pinned down. So maybe send 2 or 3 guys home, and then send another 1 or 2 over to the far point and try to put some pressure there, too. That probably would have been the smartest move we could have seen Eclipse make. They are starting to change it up now, but again, you look at the score, they just have such a huge lead now, and it's going to be all that much more work that Eclipse is going to have to do to come back.
That's right. Let's pop up the scoreboard. How many people are actually on the scoreboard? Okay, so no one's popping up the donuts. We are seeing Kill a Kill at the bottom with just 5 points. That is, it's kind of heartbreaking to see right now at this round, to just see the sort of non-performance, I would say. So you're not capping points, you're not getting kills. You kind of, at this point, you need to do one or the other.
Yeah. Like I said on this map, it's extremely easy if you win like all of your opening engagements like Elusive did here. It's extremely easy to just completely lock down your opponents for the rest of the game. And so far they've been doing that. Now, it does seem like Elusive's been getting a little bit slop here. We have seen all 3 nodes get decapped now, so they definitely are kind of coming back onto the board now. But like I said, they are going to have to win these smaller engagements. They're outnumbered over here at Waterfall, so this will more than likely go to Elusive's favor. And then back at the Quarry, that fight has just ended. We saw Ender, I believe, take out Snowless over there, so that'll fall back under, so that's already fallen back under Red Team colors. And they're once again going to have a 2-cap here in just a second. So Blue Team just got to be, again, a little bit more smarter with the rotations if they want to win.
That's right. Now we are seeing that Karina went down, did not die. The amount of points the blue team has not changed. Got right back up here and re-entered the fight. We're seeing Snowless off the respawn going towards the middle. And all the action is sort of concentrated between Waterfall right now, which is decapped, and which will probably stay decapped given that Rocketry is just over there, and the middle point.
And you can even see like how casually Red Team's taking this at the moment with Marvin kind of running back and forth saying, hey guys, where do you want me? Because both of them kind of, I can kind of take a guess here, is that on Instagram, they're both kind of saying, oh, we're good at mid, well, we're good at Waterfall, and then Marvin's kind of like, alright, well, screw it, I'll just come to mid then. Because again, they're both being held very well right now. They had the cap on Corey, and they lost that, again, due to the fact that they've had to fight on these two notes here, but you can just kind of tell how casually Elusive is playing this lead at the moment due to the high lead they have.
Yeah, and we are seeing that Killer Kill did take the opportunity to
like that,
walk
Blue
around the
team
fights,
takes the capture
try and
point.
grab the point. Does actually grab Quarry. So at this point here, it's my standard
team
reaction
wins
is to
the
be like,
capture
is it
point.
enough blue? At what cost? And it's just no
Yeah.
matter what, anything. Chunni Pride Eclipse is not moving on to the next round.
More than likely, yeah, unless we see a miracle pull out here, it's going to go Elusive to game 2, because it's just, like I said, they won all 3 engagements. Blue team, unfortunately, did not have the smartest comeback after they lost those initial fights, and it just gets a bumpier road from there. So
Yeah,
it becomes a bumpier
absolutely.
road from there.
I mean, like, unlike yesterday, the comebacks are not real. So we're gonna have to see. Just kind of like wait for this to end. Unfortunately for Elusive, they aren't really able to keep most of the points. They're having trouble like just shutting people down fast enough, because we are seeing that Chunni Pride Eclipse is getting people onto the points that are being capped, and then they'll die pretty fast, but really not fast enough for Elusive to actually get the caps up.
Just give me 1 second here. We got a bit of a intruder in the arena here.
Oh man, you gotta kick some kids.
Yeah, sorry.
It's against the rules.
Unwelcome spectators here at the moment. Some unruly children. Anyway, let's get back into the cast here. We still do have this team fight fighting over here at the Red Team's own, and actually an Ender is getting quite low, so they might be able to knock him out of here, but again, they've also got a lot of reinforcements coming in. Airrock's teaming with the SR to save Ender's
man.
life. Exa was the one trying to get the stomp up, but again, that SR completely going to deny that, and with those extra 2 guys now coming into play here at this node, they'll just get Ender right back up into play.
That's right, and also right now the western gate to the blue base is down blue.
Yeah.
So at any point, Elusive could just be like, I don't care about points, walk into that base and kill Lord.
I don't think they're going to do it, though, because in general here, Lord is a risky play regardless of how secure of a lead you have, so... I mean, we saw it, like, in the last weekly. It was the team that outplayed was Sporting at the time. I think they had 2 fill-ins last Thursday, but they actually capped all 3 nodes directly at the start. It was like 350 to 10 or something like that, and then rushed Lord, but their opponents 3-capped them back, and they held the 3-cap for like 3 minutes straight, and they almost came back. So, I mean, just thinking about things like that, it's always a risky play to go for Lord regardless of how comfortable of a lead you have, so I don't think they're going to want to take that risk.
Check out Exa right now. Exa in the down state procced the bird. That's like the worst day you could have right now.
Oh my.
Oh man.
So once again, guys, it is looking like here, with 385 points, Elusive rocketing ahead. They should be able to take game 1 here. So with that said, that does mean that when they do move on to the next round, their opponents will either end up being Straight Outta Columbia, or Don't Bro Me If You Don't Know Me.
I love that name. I totally want to bro them, but I first have to know them blue. So I hope that we're going to see that match, right?
Yeah, we'll be showing that match. That's going to be a qualifier game, so we'll see that a little bit later on. I think we actually ended up... Well, the Straight Outta Columbia versus Don't Bro Me game, I think, was already played. I think Straight Outta Columbia ended up moving on, as that is a pretty good team. And yeah, they did end up moving on with the 2-0 that round there. So those guys, again, Straight Outta Columbia, that's a team with Darth, Kizos, AK's on that team. Quite a few other guys that may be recognizable from North America as well. So they actually might be a force to be reckoned with over here for Elusive. So that should be a very interesting match to qualify for the Grand Finals at the end of August, so we'll have to wait and see that one a little bit later on today.
Yeah, that lineup is super strong. Kizos and Darth, pretty well known on the NA scene. Unfortunately, I guess we won't get to bro them at all.
No.
Because we definitely will get to know them today, Blue. As we go forward here, let's see. What else has happened? So we will see probably next Jubinder versus Dionysian Rights. Who's on Dionysian Rights?
I don't know. That's another new team. We got a lot of new faces that come into play here in ToL. A lot of guys trying out TPP, trying to come in and get their llamas, trying to come in to maybe get their reputations up. So that's going to be one of the new faces we'll be seeing here today.
Alright guys, now of course the hashtag that we have chosen for this event. Last time it was Llama Prophecies. This time it's Llama Legacies as we're bringing it back.
The llama legacies, guys. Get it out there. And of course, we do have a llama to give away here very shortly, so stick around for that. We'll be doing that in the chat very, very soon.
Llamas and gems today, Blue.
Oh yeah, are we giving away gems today too?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it rain gems.
Make it rain gems.
Painful.
Gems are kind of heavy, so
yeah. So I mean, if you're used to carrying teams, you might be used to carrying gems. So you can just throw those gems in your backpack. But
oh god,
yeah.
That was good. That was good.
No, I've been working on it.
You get like +10 for that one. Alright guys, so we are coming towards the end of the game here, so once again, congratulations to Elusive. They are going to be going on to the qualifier round to take on Straight Outta Columbia, so that game is going to be played a little bit later on today. As for Chunni Pride Eclipse, however, they are going to be eliminated here, and they will be getting this round's prizing.
You know, I like what we did see from Chunni Pride Eclipse. They were kind of mindful of composition.
Yeah.
They took that extra time in the beginning of the match to say, okay, well, something's not working, let's change something up. Unfortunately for them, they put their warrior on a thief, and I'm not sure if that warrior was used to playing that class.
I definitely think the warrior was doing a much better job, personally.
Yeah.
He was doing really well in Eviscerate. He locked down quite a few players. We saw Ender quite a few times eat some Eviscerates and almost got eliminated from a couple team fights and side fight engagements due to the Eviscerates coming into play. So I think that might have, in general, worked better. Granted, again, on that map, due to the fact that it's a lot bigger, might not have worked as well, but I still think he could have been a very good asset to the team.
Right, absolutely. So we will see, of course, again, Team Elusive moving forward into the qualifying rounds. And guys, be sure to go check out Facebook.com/Mistpedia, like that page, join the discussion. Of course, I think we're really close to 1,000 likes.
I think we are, yeah. We're
And
like 50 away.
I've sort of promised in-house that I was going to drop a ton of money on gem giveaways if we reach that. So you can go ahead, help us reach 1,000 likes, and you have a chance. And we'll probably drop like a couple $100 in gems.
Oh boy, that's
Facebook
quite
page.
a bit.
Hi, Roland. You making it rain. I told you, I'm making it rain.
Gems there.
So go ahead, check that out. Of course, you can follow us both on Twitter if you'd like to do that. But please stick around through the short break that we will be taking, because we will also come back and give away something.
Yep. We're actually going to be doing a llama giveaway in the chat while we're on break, guys, so keep your eyes on that. And please make sure you are following the channel, as we can only give it to people who are following the channel, so make sure you are doing that. But once again, we'll be taking a short break, and when we do come back, we're going to be bringing you Ju Binder versus Dionysian Rites. Stick around, guys. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with that match.